yesterday by Pendula Studios. We got pretty far last time. So let's see how well I can do. And yes, when last time we left, we had found ourselves standing on a high tower as if to jump, which doesn't seem like a healthy thing to do. So let's see what we can do here. And oh, hello, by the way. I hope you all had a great week and yeah, had fun. I didn't actually check how my audio sounds, so let's have a more quiet than the music. Yeah, it seems. Let's see if that bumps it. The problem with this game is that every time I tab out, it stops doing anything. I've gotten it so it at least doesn't do... so it doesn't remove the picture anymore. Okay, let's have another quick check how loud the audio is. Blah blah, hello? Well, the audio is still... yeah, I guess this microphone is just a little quieter than the old one. Oh, let's see if I can go and... what is it? If I can go in the sound settings and fix some things. Let's see. And this seems to be set to the wrong one, but... but I don't think that's the usual thing. I think I'm speaking into the right microphone at least. Well, I guess I can make it this much louder. But let's see if I can adjust the compressor. Oh, I don't know which one is actually... let's see, it says... is it this one that makes it go louder? No? Okay. What's this? Okay. Blah, 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 blah. And, oh, I think that made it louder, didn't it? No? I guess... oh, I guess it's the... let's try this one and see if that makes it louder. Blah, blah. Come on. I want to see levels and see if that helps. This one? Yeah, I think this one is slightly louder. Okay, let's just leave it at this and see how the music sounds in comparison. Because, yeah, we have this game, and it should have game music. And I want to be heard over that. Of course, now the music is gone. Great. Well, I guess I'll just keep that headphone on for a moment and suffer the echo to see if it sounds better now. But I think I should be at least a little bit louder than the music now. The question is whether it stays that way. Okay, let's look at whatever we can see from here. You have to get inside this warehouse to save Boris. So Boris was the crazy guy, I think. So I guess we're playing a memory. So I guess we can go there. Okay, that's all the same. I don't really... What's this? The tower. The base of the chimney. So we can go back. You've come too far and you've made up your mind. There's no turning back. So I guess all the choice we have is jump. What have you got to lose? Nothing, because you've got nothing. You take a few seconds. You close your eyes and take a deep breath. You smile nervously at the thought that this will be your last act in this life. The question as always is whether there will be another life after this one. Okay. Ooh, fisheye. Distortion. That doesn't look healthy. Woo!
I was that guy.
You died for me, Choke. And then you saved me.
I don't understand any of this.
That's fascinating. Okay, let's ask a few questions then. And see if that helps.
Evidently, I didn't die. How did I survive?
How were you able to live through that? You killed yourself, Choke. You were dead as a doornail.
How do you know that I'm this choke person?
By your voice. It's the same voice you had when you became young again.
Who were those people who were torturing you?
2 fucking punks. Laurel and Hardy, an asshole version.
Tell me about the fat guy.
He came out of nowhere with a gun and emptied the chamber. The last shot was right in the middle of your head.
Tell me about the thin guy.
Henry White. He seemed like a lamb when you started having fun with him, scaring him, but who would have guessed that he was a fucking sadist?
Okay, so our theory at least... Wait, you know what that means, right?
How did we get to that industrial park?
You don't remember? It's because you died again since. I don't know why you have to go and forget everything each time you die. It makes no sense. We arrived in the torturer's van. They had just killed you, and you came back to life. But instead of being old like you were before, you were young, and you had the same voice as you do now. You pulled the tape off my mouth, and I brought you up to date.
Okay, and now we're having the conversation from back then. Okay, so that's what happened in the car. When we saw, like, the dead body next to Boris's tied-up body, and suddenly it seemed to sit up again. So I guess that's us?
You're crazy. How could I come back to life?
Hey, you're the one who does weird shit, Joke. So I'm not the crazy one here.
Who are you?
They call me Boris. I live in Cadway Station, and I'm your only friend.
I can't remember anything. I don't know who I am.
You're a joke. You're immortal. Well, no, you are mortal until you're not.
What do they want from us?
I don't know. I only know that they aren't going to burn us. Sounds good, doesn't it?
Hmm.
Let's get out of here. Let's go.
I can't, joke. I have a broken leg. You go. We're wasting time. Do it now!
Okay. He snuck out. And that's how we got in that situation. Oh, an electrified fence. So that's why we can't just walk in.
Let's get them out.
Shit! Bastard. Where's the other one?
Easy, Cooper.
Where the hell's Choke?
You can't have closed the door properly. It opened and his body fell out. I'm gonna go look for it.
Should I come with you?
Stay here. And make sure the other one doesn't die on us. I want him to be alive when I get back. Understood?
Not very charming.
You could have taken off right then. Who was I to you? If you couldn't remember me and hardly believed me, but you decided to save me. Joke. Me!
Now we're before. It's really a lot of non-linear storytelling. And fisheye. It's electrified. The red lights and the random sparks indicate that it's turned on. Random sparks. I don't think I've ever seen an electric fence that had actually had random sparking. I think that would be a safety issue if it did, even on an electric fence, you know, because those sparks can jump over to something or set fire to something. If you try to climb up this electric fence, you're a dead man. Well, I'm already a dead man, aren't I? Boris, possibly the closest thing you've ever had to a friend is being held inside. To enter the warehouse, you'll have to be able to get to the other side of the fence. Okay, that's the same Boris thing. What's this? Several worn-out tires. In spite of the weight, you decide to take the tires with you. Is there anything else I can do here? The road one of Boris's captors took to look for your corpse. If you go this way, you run the risk of running into one of the men who kidnapped Boris. Okay, so that seems to be all we can do here. There's this arrow. Seems to be... I guess it's go up the tower or something. Or maybe go to the front of the tower. Yeah, okay. What's this? A pile of discarded things. You take a circular saw blade that's quite sharp. Okay, nothing else to take, I guess. What's this tent? The canvas is covering something up. You grab the canvas and find out what's underneath. That seemed a lot less tall than that. A Servius level on a tripod. You decide to take the Servius level without having a very good idea of how it can help you. Tripod that supported the Servius level. And I can't take that. You don't see any reason to take this tripod with you. Okay, didn't we have... Oh, we have a bunch of subway tokens. When you look closely at one of the tokens, an image appears in your head, and you realize that you are the old man flipping this coin. Okay, so yeah. So we definitely know we were... Well, he called us Choke already, and he told us the story. But that means, yeah, we're Choke. We are the madman from the beginning. And I guess maybe the cult was after us because we can't die. As strange as it seems, you're starting to believe, Boris. Tires. Circular saw blade. Canvas. Servius level. Right, we haven't looked at this yet. The white Enterprises logo recessed into the stonework of the chimney. Okay, so this is an abandoned factory of... his name was Harry, I think? The red-haired guy's parents, I guess. If the logo were more recessed, there'd be room for you to put your foot in it to boost yourself up to the lowest rung. Yeah, but we can't get there, I guess. The iron rungs lead to the very top of the chimney. It's too high. You can't reach it. Okay, so our puzzle is how do we get up there? Can we maybe use the circular saw to kind of like get ourselves in there? Nope. Can we somehow saw? Cut the... no, we can't. Oh, but maybe we can place the tires. If the tires were inflated, you could jump on them to bounce up to the lowest rung. But they're not. You think of reducing the tires to little pieces of rubber, but you don't see any reason to do it. Pile of discarded things, but nothing to take with us. Do here. Guess we can go back and see if there's anywhere else we can walk. Nothing we can do with the lights. Dare use the tires as a trampoline to jump to the other side? No, amnesiac is not synonymous with idiot. You'd die from electrocution before the saw blade made the slightest mark on this fence. Can I use the Servius level on this one? You could try to break the windows with this, but you alert Boris's capture. Oh, it's only seeing this as an extension of the building, I guess? Wait, what? Yeah. No matter how much this would help you to break a window, you'll still get out of the way to get inside the warehouse. So we can somehow interact. Or not? No, I guess that's only walk to location. There's really no other. Oh, what's this? There's another location to walk to. White Technologies. Is it titanium white? A clamp holds the gate shut. You won't be able to open the door as long as the clamp is in place. Okay, so can we maybe... Not sawing the fence, sawing the clamp. You try to use the saw blade to loosen the clamp screws, but it's too big for the job. Okay. Oh, maybe the subway tokens work for the screws? You use the edge of one of the tokens to loosen the clamp screw, and... Suddenly another railway car comes to mind in another station. Yes, okay, so that's the subway station where Harry found us. When you pull the latch... Alright, let's see what this is. White Tech business material. You search through the boxes and find a professional camera. The boxes hold several cameras like the one you picked up. You said not to take anything you find in the other boxes. These ones. Technological material from White Tech. After thinking it over, you decide that nothing in the boxes can help you. Material, nothing in these boxes interests you. So we have a camera, and that seems to be all we can do here. So let's see what these cameras do. Oh, and we have the clamp. Camera. Full HD. Wow. Don't even know what the Servier's instrument. Are you going to record? Why are you going to record this on video? Can we record ourselves? How can we put the camera on here? Get place the camera on the tripod and you check that it's held securely in place. You left the camera there with a very specific intention. What is it? You remember Boris's words.
That's it. Dying and coming back to life left you so traumatized that it gave you amnesia.
You must be crazier than Boris if you're starting to believe something like that, but you set up the camera for filming and... Ooh, now we're talking to ourselves.
My name is Choke. And yours? The same. If you're alive, then I am not crazy. You want to know who you are? And what this is about? Pay close attention. You've got to rescue a guy named Boris, who's being held prisoner in the...
After recording your message, you take the camera back. Alright. So we still don't know how to get up there, I guess. The end rungs lead to the very top of the chimney. It's too high, you can't reach it. Can I somehow... I don't know. Without... There's a nice commentary. Yeah, maybe that climb is photogenic, but you don't want to waste the camera battery by filming it. If there are bricks and everything, then why don't we just pile up bricks here until we can get up there? I don't get it. Locked and just as electrified as the rest of the fence. Don't see any reason for opening it. Whoops. Didn't really want to. Directions. It's all just the fence. Okay. Person can help you find out who is being held inside. Can I somehow get up there? Oh, what's this? Ah, I found something. Tape. A roll of packing tape. Yoink. The roll is practically new. It's like people throwing chocolate in the dumpster in Police Academy, right? Okay, let's see. Can we use the packing tape with something else? Sealing. This. I don't have to film this. You could wrap the camera in the canvas, but you think better of it and decide to do something else first. You wedge the camera into one of the tires to protect your recording. Okay, so I guess we're protecting the camera before we jump. Can we wrap? You wrap the camera in the tires and the canvas. You tape up the bundle of the camera, tires, and canvas. Yay! Can we do anything with this? Still thinks it's a camera. Interesting. But hey, does he want to regenerate as someone else again? Is he Doctor Who? Possible. Can we use this to get up there somehow? No. Let's see if we can throw this. Okay, still no solution. Nowhere we can walk to. Nothing else to interact with. Let's see if there's anything else we've missed here. I don't think so. Oh, wait, wasn't there a show me all the targets thing? I guess that's something here. Oh, a plank. Looks like it comes from the train tracks. Grasping, you note its density and strength. Okay, so guess we found everything here. Maybe we can use that plank to get up to the... Don't know, it seems kind of weird, but you know, limited number of interactions. You get an idea for breaking a hole in the logo, but you realize that you need something a little sharper to do it with. Okay, so let's try that again. And what if you drove a hole into the stone? No, with a saw blade in your hand, you'd never be able to pull it off. Can we combine? You wedge the circular saw blade in a crack in the wood that holds it in place more or less securely. That's a bit... taking it a bit far. You want to strike the logo, but the disc is not attached firmly enough to the beam and would fall off at the first blow. Okay, and now we use the clamp, because it goes through the hole, yes. Tightening it with one of the tokens. You strike the logo with all your might and make a small hole in it. Broken a small hole in the logo. You stick in the foot in the foot in the hole in the logo and whee! Can of paint. Whoever painted the top of the chimney must have been a little absent-minded. Pick up the can of paint and the paintbrush lying on top of it. Can we paint? When you remember Boris's
No,
words, you know?
Even though you come back 30 years younger, there'll be something that remains. Scar on your hand.
You decide to paint the Y symbol on the canvas. Woo! So now we'll hopefully remember that this is ours. Good. So I guess now we throw the camera down there first. You cross your fingers, hoping the bundle falls on the roof, and... Alright. Your future memory waiting for you. You'll open this bundle, but before you do, you'll have to jump through a few hoops. The door to the warehouse seems to be open. You smile nervously at the thought that this will be your last act in this life. Interesting start that they give us that scene first kind of as foreshadowing and then do it again. Once we know what it's about, it's a nice bit of mystery. Oh no, I jumped too short. I'm still outside. That nobody heard a dead body crashing outside. My name, like yours, is Choke. You want to know who you are? Inside you'll find Boris. He's the only one who can help you answer that question. But be careful, his captor is a dangerous man. Not just because he can kill you, the fact is he already has. After searching the entire warehouse, you still can't find any trace of Boris or Cooper. Ooh. You'll have to investigate more thoroughly. How does he know that his name was Cooper? The garbage can is full of machine parts and cables from when they dismantled and closed down the warehouse. You find an RCA cable at the bottom of the can. From the machine parts inside the cans, you guess that the warehouse was used for an assembly line for technology products. You look, but there's nothing in these cans that can help you. It could be a pressure valve or a temperature control for the oven, but it's broken. You press the on button, but nothing happens. Outside of the warehouse.
Boris is inside the warehouse, and that's where you should look.
Right. What's this? Okay, here is some sort of door where there is a light. Let's look at this thing first. An emergency cabinet with an axe behind glass. The axe will come in handy for protecting yourself, but there's no way to break the glass in front of it. Well, I guess you need an axe. So we have an RCA cable. A few tires. We have a tarp. We have red paint. Can we maybe use that? upstairs. That looks like the least likely place. Oh, that's where we came from. The roof is on fire. You open the door and go up onto the roof for a moment, but not finding anything useful, you go back inside the warehouse. Wrap your arm in the cloth. Yeah, how... I don't know, maybe... Ah. That actually works. Take out the axe carefully to avoid cutting yourself. I guess that works. What's this? You tried to open it, but it's locked and doesn't budge. Can we maybe exit to open? After a pair of axe blows to the lock, the door swings open, and rummaging around a bit, you find a plan that interests you. Main switch, internal left 2, internal right, generator, external left, external right. What's this? Oh, there's a device. Oh, is that? Yes. So main switch is A and F is the generator. Not knowing which part of the warehouse it supplies, you prefer not to flip the switch. You still don't know what this one's for. Press the button, but nothing happens. Video in, video out. Oh! Let's see, can we take the RCA cable? Video out, you connect the RCA cable in the hope that it does some good. And now connect the camera. You connect the cable to the camera, turn it on, and... when you press the button, the viewer on the camera shows a different image. Oh! Okay. So that's the security cameras. Front gate. Inside. Roof. Ah, there. So inside some room. Boris, you finally found him. Or not. In reality, you only know that he's in a room with a generator, but where is that room? Alright, so, but we know that we have a generator is F. So can we flip? You decide not to take a chance of flipping it without knowing what it's for. But I know what it's for. By relating the letters on the switches to the plan, you find out what zone of the warehouse each one corresponds to. General, left interior, right interior, generator. Left exterior. Okay. The generator room. That's where Boris is. You flip the switch and... bingo! Now it's just a matter of time.
Impulse, leap, jab, and final attack. Master these well, young disciple, or you'll never master the strike of the tiger.
Ouch.
Well done, young disciple. Keep doing that, and one day you'll master the unknown sense.
There's a trapdoor on the oven floor. No doubt where Cooper came from. But getting to it seems like no simple matter. Oh, there was the... You flip the switch for the generator room again and study the screen, but you don't discover anything new. Clearly you'll have to go there through the trapdoor in the oven. Okay. Oven. You hear a click. You've just released the door to the oven. Ah, now this blinked. Blunk. Oh, they both blink. Okay. Let's look at him. The axe hasn't gone too far into his skull. He's unconscious but alive. You could try to save him, but you could care less about his life. The one that matters to you is Boris's. Plants, books, dust, and mites. Little else. Okay, anything else here? No, but I think we had a switch. Oh, what's this? Does it open the oven? Okay, so that's all it does. So, but we had oven controls here. Nope, they don't do anything. Something goes upstairs. Hi, Lautrec of Karim. How's it going? Yeah. We've just got rid of this guy, and now we just have to find out how to get through here without getting fried to a crisp. Is that top thing? No, okay, that's not a separate thing that we can deal with. How's it going? How has your week been? Let's see what this map, this plan says. External right. I don't think the plan says anything. So what does this control thing? Locks and releases the door to the oven. Great, just got home and saw the yesterday category is online. How about me? I'm doing great, yeah. Enjoying this game quite well, so looking forward to figuring out how this goes. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, okay. Prefer to not change the camera. And as soon as you open the gate, you close it again to avoid giving away your presence. Okay, that just does the door. Main door. You press and... Afraid that someone might see the open door, you push the button again to close it. Okay, so we can switch around all these things. infinite supplies, you see no point in flipping it. Isn't there, like... I guess we're done with all these. I was kind of thinking that maybe, but I guess this control panel has nothing for us. I don't really know what these are for, but I can't interact with them. Game audio music is a little bit high. Yeah, I'm having problems. I don't know why it's so different. It should be ducking, but I guess it isn't quite. I can probably switch it a little lower, more. Hopefully that will work. Is this better? I don't know, it's kind of weird, but I've changed a little bit in my setup, so not quite surprising. Well, is it good or is it just better? Let's put it that way. You won't spoil anything, thank you. Trying to avoid most spoilers. Let's see, what is this? No question, you have to go through this hellfire to rescue Boris. In your case, death is a lesser evil. The real problem is the amnesia that comes afterwards. Yeah, I know that there's a Yesterday Origins game that is, I guess, a prequel to it. So yeah, aware of that. I already own it. And I'm not sure if I'll play it right after this game, but definitely sounds interesting. Oh, okay, that was saving him. Okay. Let's see, what do we have that might... So there are like pipes coming out of the floor and out of the sides. Is there anything out there that we can... Maybe these? Can we... Oh, we don't have the axe anymore, of course. And we can't break this thing. We went up there and it didn't get us anything. So, you've played both games already, I take it? Did you enjoy them? Did they... I find the controls a little confusing, like it's not that they're a bad idea, they're just different from everything else that I've... Like, from every point-and-click game I've played so far, so like... First, like, these cursors drive me nuts, and then that you have to drag out... And that clicking just shows it is a bit weird. Do anything with the tarp? Maybe the tarp is probably not fireproof, but when you look carefully at the blanket, you realize that it belongs to the New York City Fire Department. Yes, that's what I read. The FDNY was kind of a giveaway. It's a fireproof blanket. You wrap yourself in the fireproof blanket and decide to go directly to the trapdoor Cooper came out of. Yay! But no what? Fortune is a bitch. Oh, the train with Boris drives away and we die again. What happened?
Choke?
Oh, and he recognized what happens. And that's how he got to be Harry's friend. These games brought you back to point and clicks, although you haven't played any other than them recently. You got hope for the genre.
Are you still there, Choke?
Who are you, Choke?
Is that you?
Or John? How many lives have you yet to remember? And above all, why are you coming back to life?
I have to go, but I'll come back for you.
Don't forget that today
Why
is
does
my
your
daddy's
memory
birthday,
fail me?
okay?
I'll try not to.
Why do you have that scar on your head? You hope to find answers to all these questions in the same place.
Is this it?
Yeah, it must be.
We have to take advantage of the daylight we have left. I'll start unloading things. You take a look, okay?
Suddenly something irresistibly draws your attention. Okay, that's the church that was... it had the same markings as Notre Dame. That the one occultist found out. Your journey is getting closer and closer to its endpoint. Alright. Although you haven't played any other than them recently, you got hope for the genre. Yeah, there's some really great adventures out there. A while earlier, I played a game called Gibbous, and I can greatly recommend this. It's basically a comedy set in the Cthulhu mythos. Words are hard today. And so it sounds like a really weird idea, but it works really well. So if you have just a little, you don't need to know the details of all the Cthulhu stuff, just like the basics, like big monster and cultists calling it. And yeah, it's hilariously funny and very well done. I think it's from what was it, Romanian or Hungarian studio? But it's really fun. And so that was very nice for me. And of course the early Telltale games were quite nice as well. I don't know if you've played those, or they probably released. They might have released before you took a break or whatever. That because you said got back into point and clicks. I really like the Sam and Max games if you can still get them somewhere. A while ago I got Steam codes for those because I originally had bought them on Telltale's website, which of course doesn't exist anymore. So I couldn't download them anymore. So I still have them on Steam now. And so if you can find Steam keys for those, the first season is really traditional point and click, and the later seasons go a little away from that, but they're still pretty nice. You didn't play Telltale ones. You're waiting to give Black Sad a go. It's Pendulum Studios, yeah. But from a French comic, Black Sad. It looks very nice. Haven't heard of Black Sad, actually. I will have to note that down. Yeah, there are also... What happened to Telltale? Did they shut down? Yeah, they went out of business, basically. There is now a new company that kind of bought the assets, and I think they still have the rights to their Batman games. And I think they finished the last... Was it Walking Dead or Game of Thrones game they had in the works? But it's not really the original Telltale anymore. But yeah, that's so Telltale as it was doesn't exist anymore. They couldn't manage to make the business end of things work. And also, of course, all the later games they made were very much in more like they were more like quick time events, so like interactive stories, whereas the earlier ones were more traditional adventures. So basically, was it, I think, like Back to the Future, I think, was the last one that was still a point-and-click adventure. And then they started with Jurassic Park, and that was like most of the games they made from then on were just interactive stories, basically. So if you love point-and-click adventures for, the non-linearity and for, combine item A with item B or having conversations in interesting ways, then that was kind of where Telltale stopped being interesting. So I think they did 3 seasons of Sam & Max that were really good. And they made 1 season of Back to the Future. They made 1 season of The Tales of Monkey Island, which I like, but I can understand why some people don't quite like them that much. But, like, if you like the other Telltale games, then that's an extra Telltale game for you to play that is similar to Monkey Island, so that should get you somewhere. And the 2 Batman games they did are actually kind of taking a new road where you can do more, like the decisions are more interesting and they're trying out some little mini games in there. So if you're desperate after... Oh, and of course they started out with Wallace and Gromit games, which were kind of nice, but are a little childish. So I didn't quite... Like, I didn't finish any of their Wallace and Gromit games because they were kind of nice, but okay. So you've never read Black Sad, but you've heard the comic was great. It's like regular life, but people are animals, which best suit their personality. Bodyguards are gorillas, etc. And it's like a crime novel or something. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Oh, also, if you want really traditional point-and-click adventures... Sorry, I knocked the microphone there. I hope that wasn't audible. If you like traditional point-and-click adventures, I can recommend... Nelly Kutalot. I also on stream played Nelly Kutalot and the Foul Fleet, I think was the full title. It's basically it's like someone else's take, like a very British take on Monkey Island in a way. And of course there are Nelly Kutalot, Nelly, and then Kutalot with Cootalot in one word. So yeah, that was a really fun game as well. Like, it has a good sense of humor. It's it's different. It's in some way the humor is a little finer, and it has more of that self-awareness that some parts of Monkey Island had. So I enjoyed it very much. And, like, it is in the tradition of Monkey Island, so you have some moments where you go like, oh yeah, that, like, I don't know, like that kind of like does a wink to the side to Monkey Island. But the nice thing is that Nelly Kutalot, it doesn't get bogged down in all the references to Monkey Island and going like, see how clever I am. But it has a similar, like slightly anachronistic style about piracy and things like that. So it's pretty nice. it's it's basically a comedian that made like their own adventure game, so it feels not quite as smooth as like a professional Monkey Island or whatever would, but like in all the important ways, it's smooth enough. So it's a pretty good game. And of course, there's the two games that the. Oh, actually, there are three now that I recently found out about another one that I hadn't played yet. Well, but there's the ones that were kickstarted. So Broken Age by Double Fine, which is run by Tim Schafer, who started on Maniac Mansion, I think. And then there's what was the other new one called? Thimbleweed Park. So Broken Age is nice, but how to describe it? It's okay, they're trying something new, but you kind of can see that they were kind of limited by budget or overrunning their budget in places. And Thimbleweed Park, it's good, but I think Thimbleweed Park gets too much lost in being, about adventure games and referenced in and referencing, other games and making fun of Sierra adventure games and things like that. So I think it's a nice game. I got what I spent my Kickstarter money for, but I would have liked if they did. Oh yeah, Trooper Brook is a fun and weird point-and-click adventure. That's a German company, and it kind of has this claymation feel to it. I think they even built the sets physically and photographed them or something like that. But yeah, Trüberbrook is kind of really weird. It's that's a good one, yeah. All the backgrounds are dollhouses, yeah. Alts Sanitarium is a very weird point and click. Sanitarium, was that the one with what's his name? Christopher, the actor from Back to the Future? Christopher Lloyd? Is that Sanitarium? The one that kind of where the characters are photographed humans, or rotoscoped at least? Is it that one? Oh, and of course you probably found that they remastered, Tim Schafer's company, the Double Fine Adventure. They redid, Maniac, Day of the Tentacle, so Maniac Mansion 2, and what was the other one called? Grim Fandango. And Full Throttle, so 3 classic LucasArts games. So if you haven't played them, you can actually get them as a new version. And I think I started but didn't finish mentioning that the Telltale Batman games, those are still available because apparently they still had the license or something and didn't, leave anyone sitting with unpaid money or something. I don't know. So the second Batman Telltale game is very good in letting you do decisions and being more of a branching adventure game again and having these little mini games. And the first one is nice, but is still very QuickTime eventy. So I personally am not at all a fan of QuickTime events because they just it feels like, monkey push button until the film continues, So most of those games feel as if you're just watching a movie and then are forced to push a button to keep the movie going. It's not really feeling like good decisions, and having to repeatedly push a button or something isn't much fun, for me at least. That's why I didn't like the newer Telltale games. It started, I guess, with Jurassic Park and with the The Wolf Among Us, which at least story-wise I hear was really good, but I never got through playing it. And the Game of Thrones and and to a lesser degree Batman 1. But anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of good games there. For years you thought QuickTime events were made with Apple QuickTime. Yeah, no. Well, I guess, I don't know, maybe someone thought the first ones up by seeing movies and going like, how can I? No, but from what I know, it's just like from, having a short time to push a button or something. Yeah, and it's like, what was that game we had as a kid? Daedalus Encounter, which was basically movie sequences stitched together, and at some spots you had to push a button or click somewhere on the screen to basically either get the failure movie if you did it wrong or continue playing the game. That's like the cheapest way of doing QuickTime events, basically. You usually don't mind QuickTime events, but you think God of War games use them well. I didn't actually play the God of War games because there's too much combat in them. Where I did not mind them too much, I guess because there weren't that many in them, was in the new Spider-Man game. I think it's from last year or something, the PlayStation Spider-Man game. That had a really, like in some spots they even managed to hide the QuickTime events, so like there is a final battle. I don't want to say too much about it to spoil it, but there's like one final battle where they basically lock the camera and, have you in combat with an enemy, and you have no like heads-up display or anything anymore, but your buttons that you've been using throughout the game still work, or some of them still work. So like you can, I think like the heal button still works, and you can like move side to side and do a jump or something like that. And it's a very good way of, like that battle is basically just a repeating cutscene in a way, and you just have to figure out, okay, where to jump, but it feels just enough like a boss battle that I don't mind it, because it's not just you can only push that button, but you still have to realize which button you need to push, and that's kind of the point. Like if there is combat, I want it to be me figuring out which buttons to push, and not just, if the game just shows me push this button now or die, then the game might as well push the button. That's, not of interest to me. So, that's basically why I wasn't a fan of QuickTime events in general, but I didn't mind them too much in that Spider-Man. And that Spider-Man game also has some regular QuickTime events in some scenes, but it's, basically just certain scenes in between, like at pivotal moments of the game or something there, just to make the cutscene a little less non-interactive. And, since those are like, there's like 3 or 4 spots in the game where you have those, and they lead to pretty, they are pretty movie cutscenes, and like with a cinematic perspective, I kind of like them. Or, well, like is maybe still said too far, but I don't mind them. Alright, let's see. This looks suspiciously like the cross in the antique shop we earlier had. Oh, and there's another window. Let's look at that first. It's a shame that a thing of such beauty has ended up like this. Jean de Orduña must be in love with Notre Dame, because this rose window bears a strong resemblance to the ones in the Parisian cathedral. You examine the panes of glass in search of some hidden meaning, but you don't find it. The question is, Did he maybe build them? Unlike Petit's Cross, it doesn't seem like you need to insert anything into the center of this one. No matter how much you feel around the center of the cross, you don't find any hole or mechanism. Okay, but that's it, I guess. It has an obvious resemblance to Petit's Cross, but centuries worth of dirt is keeping you from seeing anything beyond that. You scratch with your fingernails and try to dislodge it, but none of this does any good. Oh, let's see, we have a knife. They gave us a knife. Do you think you can remove the dirt from the cross by scraping it with this knife? Yes. But I guess I can't. Can I set it on fire? Nope. So that's all just the cross, I guess. There's a mound of dirt around the cross. Oh, it's like that dirt. It thinks I can't remove. Okay. You scratch the dirt around the cross, but it would take centuries for you to dig it up with your fingernails. Okay, so we need a shovel or something. Or an explosive. Okay, so here's the cross. Is there anything... Ooh, what's this over there? A scrub brush with coarse boar bristles and a broken handle. Yoink. You pick up the scrub brush, but you can't find the missing part of the handle. Well, I guess whoever's hands it broke off in probably just went like, took it with them or something. St. Fergus Lake. You scan the shore of the lake, but you don't see anything that interests you. Okay, so that's just all the lake. Okay, but it's interesting, so that means like this all kind of dropped into a swamp. This is still St. Fergus Lake. What's this? A stairway that leads nowhere. Go up it? What for? On the other hand, what meaning does your life have anyway? That's a good question. Does life even need to have a meaning? Okay, so I guess we can go back there and see if we can talk to... Pauline drove it practically non-stop from Paris. I guess we don't have a driver's license or something? You touch the steering wheel, the gas pedal, you sit in the driver's seat, but nothing. No recollection of how to drive comes to you. Okay, yeah, I guess we don't know how to drive. Ooh, a small camping stove. Yoink, you prefer not to take this. If you're going to heat something, you'll do it here. Okay. An iron cooking pot. Oops, I still have the... Give me a second, audio will be gone for a second while I find the timers. It's funny, that timer didn't work at all while we were doing that co-op stream. Alright. So now we should be back. Iron cooking pot. The pot will probably come in handy if you find out or remember the role alchemy played in the Order of the Flash. Oh, what's all this? Cobalt. Its name comes from the German word Cobalt, a word that you'd know if you could remember that in another life you were a computer nerd. All mineral enthusiasts know that cobalt gives you a lot to play with. Alcohol. It's not a small bottle, it's a small jar. Oh, we have a shovel. When did Pauline get the brilliant idea of bringing a shovel along? In light of the circumstances, you have no doubt that you're going to need this shovel. Yes. When you look at the bottle of zinc, they're not bottles, they're jars.
Did you know that the first person to catalog zinc as a metal was Paracelso, the greatest alchemist in history?
Yoink. Without really knowing what zinc is good for, you pick up the bottle that contains it. I think the writer and the artist didn't talk at this point. Or the translator wasn't a native speaker. Mercury, it's paradoxical that you, who can barely remember anything, are one of the few people with a memory of how it tastes. While you're picking up the bottle of mercury, you repeat to yourself, I've got to stop drinking. Yeah, I guess being killed by being given mercury is not a fun way to go. When you look at the bottle of sulfur...
Hey, Joe, did you know that in Sanskrit the word sulfur is the same as the word for enemy?
I guess that was the stuff that you threw at the enemies, maybe? Might the sulfur help you the same way the piece of wood marked with its symbol did in the antique shop? Ah, okay, maybe we have to put that stuff somehow on the cross. Vinegar, one of the most effective cleaning products that existed in antiquity. You know that this vinegar will be useful to you for one thing or another. It's a little weird that they're just set out like that there. Like, I guess, you know, maybe Pauline remembered that they were doing alchemy, or John remembered and took it along. But it still seems a little weird that, you know, they wouldn't be like in a crate or something that you can quickly carry somewhere. Salt. It's hard to believe that something so common was so important in alchemy. But it was just as salt has been the reason behind innumerable wars and was used as currency in many civilizations. After what you've seen in the ruins, you're pretty sure you're going to need some salt. Gold dust. Ooh, that's a lot of gold dust. Pick up the bottle of gold dust. Okay, so I guess we probably mix the right stuff in the pot in the end or something. You still haven't dared to tell her what you learned at Happy Dale.
You holding up okay?
More or less. The trip was exhausting.
Thanks for schlepping through all those miles for me.
I couldn't refuse. But you're right, it was exhausting. I was in pretty good shape up to Glasgow, but then exhaustion got the better of me. I parked in front of a motel next to the highway and slept 3 hours in the car. But it looks like it wasn't enough.
Wasn't he there with her? Or did she drive ahead? Oh, right, yeah, she drove ahead.
I'm in the same shape as you are. This jet lag is killing me.
Let's take advantage of the few hours of daylight we have left, John.
It'll be dark in a little while, and we won't be able to do anything but sleep.
Let's make use of the time we have left. Then we'll bed down in the Jeep.
Together?
Of course, numbskull.
In that case, I'm praying that it gets dark real soon.
Don't get your hopes up. We're too tired to take advantage of the night.
Oh my, how lewd.
I think that just needed saying.
Finding anything interesting in your father's diary?
No, nothing that can directly link him to this place.
I found a cross that's very similar to the one your father built.
Oh, yeah? The diary mentions an identical one. Could the one you found have been the model it was based on?
It's possible, yes. Finding anything interesting in your father's diary?
But there is something in here about the cross. Mercury in the right arm, sulfur in the left, salt in the top end, and fire in the base.
Okay. So, I should probably take note of that somewhere. Let me just quickly get a text window somewhere. So what was that? Mercury in the right arm. And fire at the bottom? Or something like that. Maybe we can get her repeated.
Finding anything interesting in your father's diary?
But there is something in here about the cross. Mercury in the right arm, sulfur in the left, salt in the top end, and fire in the base.
Salt in the top. Okay. Salt, sulfur, mercury, fire. I'm never like in this game it seems like they didn't you know, like other games take notes of things like that for you. And it would be nice if this game did as well, and I think it doesn't. I mean, we'll see maybe at the end, now that we've done the original cross, maybe they'll give us something like a, I don't know, just, you know, not having us put stuff in there, but actually just, you know, that you just click the cross and stuff goes in the right slot or something like that.
When we first met, when I told you to meet me at the airport, did anything disappear from the store?
No, nothing. Well, part of the mercury my father had on hand, but it was you who took it just before you disappeared. You told me that it could hold the key.
Then I returned to the hotel, and Marcel used it to poison me, and...
You still haven't told Pauline the truth. Without any evidence to back you up, she'll think you're nuts. She thinks you're here to look for evidence that shows that Henry is the Inquisitor, the serial killer of vagrants.
And when I came out of the coma, I had lost my memory. The American guy who had dinner with your father the night before they killed him. I think it was Henry White.
Me too. But one thing's clear. He ordered my father's murder, and I swear that I'm going to make him pay for it.
I think I remember meeting your father.
What? When?
Careful, you can't tell her that you were Choke. Not yet.
I don't know, they're just random flashbacks, but I did meet him.
When was that? I don't even remember when that happened. I guess that was somewhere in the shop or so.
You told me about a friend of your father's, Choke.
A weird guy. He was sick in the head. He had a strange fascination with the Inquisition. It was like he wanted to go back there or something. I was scared of him. He shouted a lot. He got angry with my father. One day, they argued so much that my father kicked him out, and I never saw him again. My father never told me what it was about.
Yeah, maybe we remembered something from that time, but I don't remember what that was.
I'm sorry I got you mixed up in all this, Pauline.
Don't be sorry. Otherwise, I never would have met you. And that's the only thing that's keeping me going.
Finding anything interesting in your father's
There's one phrase that strikes me in particular. Mercury to remember. It's a quotation from Paracelso, it seems. But in your case, it was just the opposite, since in the end, it was the mercury that made you lose your memory, right?
So maybe... So the question is, do we have the flashbacks because we were killed with the mercury? So maybe that's why... You know, or did we not get enough, or did we get too much mercury, and that's why we don't remember stuff? But I guess that could explain it, you know, maybe either he or Henry thought that they could make him remember by poisoning him with mercury. That's interesting. Alright, so let's head back out and see if we can get that cross dug out or something. Hello? Yes, walk. Walk, little man, walk. I'm not sure if I like... You know how they teleport you from one point to the other to make it faster? That's, on one hand, it's a convenience. On the other hand, it feels really jarring that you just take 3 steps, disappear, appear at the destination. But, you know, I'm also the person who went and, you know, complained when characters in games like these would take too long. With effort and patience, you dig until you uncover the cross, which turns out to be part of a headstone. Also in the dirt, you find something that you pick up without hesitation. When you look at the coin, you remember, oh, it has our sign on it.
And the coin of judgment to outwit the Creator himself.
As one would expect, a hole. Okay, so what were the positionings? Salt in the top, fire in the bottom, sulfur and mercury. So, salt, sulfur, mercury, fire. Salt. Where do we have salt? If this cross is what you think it is, the alchemy elements are going to come in handy, but first you'll have to remove the outer crust of dirt that's covering it. Okay. We have this brush. You scrub for a while, but the dirt is too encrusted to come off without water. Oh, maybe we can get... I actually thought, let's see what if we can do vinegar. No, we can't. Okay, I guess we can use the pot to get... He looks really clean for having dug a lot. You fill the cooking pot with clean cold water. Yes! You think in the second game they really walk. Oh, okay. That's good to hear. It's kind of like, it's not an important part, and you know, it's more of a convenience that, you know, you go fast from one spot to the other. But kind of this, you know, like this limited animation and these pop-out images. I guess it's, you know, on one hand, it's a bit a stylistic device that reminds you of comic books, and I think, wasn't Yesterday also based on a comic book? Yeah, but anyway, so, you know, I can kind of see how that would work. Although the contents of the pot might help you clean the cross, emptying it over the cross won't get you anywhere. You dip the scrub brush in the cold water. Does that help? You scrub with the brush dipped in cold water, but the dirt clings to the cross like a barnacle. Okay, and now can we use the vinegar with the brush? Or with the water? You pour a generous shot of vinegar into the pot. Okay. Wait, does it describe them in any way? Cooking pot, no. That's also something that would be nice if they... You know, if I came back to this game, I wouldn't remember maybe that I put vinegar in here. So, it would be kind of nice... You dip the scrub brush in the cold water mixed with vinegar. It would be nice if the description just said, you know, dripping with vinegar and water or things like that. You scrub with the brush dipped in cold water mixed with vinegar, but the dirt clings to the cross like a barnacle. Do we maybe need to cook? Use hot water and vinegar? Let's try if that helps. You don't think it is, but if it is, you're gonna read that comic. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I thought I'd read somewhere, and I mean, it has this, you know, comic book pop-out style that looks like a comic book panel. You leave the pot on the stove. You remove the pot. I mean, it does say cold water, so that implies that there is also hot water in this game. That's basically the main reason. But I mean, if anyone remembers Myst, you know, they had a dedicated zip mode, which was like if you wanted to run down a corridor and didn't want to wait for all the animations, you could just, I think it's like right click there or something, and you got a lightning cursor, and then it would... Okay, let's see. You scrub with a brush dipped in cold water. It's not cold water. Okay, I guess we didn't heat it up, so maybe we need to light the camping stove with the lighter first. Okay, put this on. And then, where do we have the lighter? Here. You heat the water with vinegar in the pot for a few minutes. Yes. This is like where simulations like these, you know, get a little annoying. Like, you already have the lighter. You didn't have to look for it. You know how a camping stove works, so kind of, you know, going and saying, I lit it. Right click on a Mac? Good question. Maybe it wasn't right click, or maybe that was only in the PC version or something. I don't really remember. Or maybe it was control click. I don't remember. That was usually what, you know, ended up being what other people did with the right click. Oh, I forgot the pot. Duh. Yeah, but here it's, you know, the walking around is not quite as annoying because you don't have to wait for him to walk, so that's good at least. Remove the pot from the hot stove. And forget to turn it off, and Pauline breathes in gas and dies a death while you are mucking around with this cross. No. Not outdoors either. You scrub with the brush dipped in... It's not cold water. Oh, I need to re-dip the brush. You dip the scrub brush in the hot water mixed with vinegar. Jesus, kids. When you scrub with the brush dipped in the mixture of hot water and vinegar, the encrusted, that should be encrusted, I think, dirt starts to come off. And after abusing your arm muscles for a long time... Yay! Underneath the plug, there's nothing but a hole. Alright, so let's see. I've forgotten already what we're supposed to do with this. Let's see. Salt, sulfur, mercury, fire. Salt, sulfur, mercury, fire. Okay. Salt in the top. You remove the plug from the hole, pour in the salt, and some mechanism inside the cross is released. Sulfur. You pour the sulfur into the hole, and that's it. Mercury. That can't be healthy. The idea is good, but first you have to unplug the hole. Wait, is that blocked somehow? You try to dislodge the plug with your fingers, but to no avail. Oh. Surely there's a hole under this plug, but it's stuck and you can't dislodge it. Okay, so we have a knife. Maybe we can use that to the blade of the knife helps you unplug the hole. That wasn't too hard. That's also kind of... You never had to get the knife or the lighter. Or the flashlight. So it kind of seems weird that, like they still make that a puzzle. It always feels a little cheap to me. Like, this game is great and I love it and it's a nitpick, but just like, I always like to think like, what would I do differently if I make a game, and what things do I like about games and which I don't? Because, I mean, I've had ideas for games for a long time. I just never bothered to actually make one, which is kind of the most important part. Okay, so let's put the mercury in there. You unplug the hole, and immediately you drip a little of the mercury in the hole, and something inside the cross is released. I wonder, like, how this release works. Like, how would it do something if there is mercury? And like, I originally thought, you just put the stuff in there, put the fire at the bottom, and then the fire heats up something, and that, causes a chemical reaction. But that actually just putting the stuff in there causes a reaction is kind of weird. Okay, and I guess now we put fire down there. This cross works like petits. This is the fire hole. But you can't get the flame to go deep enough into it. Or maybe we do light. Flashlight doesn't help you see inside the hole any better. Okay. What is this? When you look at the coin...
And the coin of judgment to outwit the Creator himself.
Nope. Can we maybe put alcohol in there that catches fire? Unplug the hole and fill the hole with alcohol, after which you hear a sound that you interpret as a good sign. And now we set it on fire. The alcohol burns quickly and some mechanism inside the cross slides into position. Ah. But like, how would you build something like this? That's what I'm wondering. Like, how would a machine that does this work? Uh-oh. I guess Harry is arriving. Henry? Ooh. You've set the sign on fire somehow. Ooh.
Brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters.
Silence!
I've asked you to come to the Hall of Eternity because the peace of our community has been disturbed. One of us has prevented the carnal act from being consummated. Show yourself, heretic! Who are you?
Code name, real name, keeping quiet. I guess we get to do all of them? I don't know. But I want to know my real name. The feds! Magic! Or magnets? Yeah, that's a good choice. It's probably just magnets. Let's see what happens if I pick codename, I guess, and see if we get to use the real name.
I have no name, other than the one you gave me when I joined this order. Vulcanus.
You have been my right hand since we started this church.
But you've betrayed us! Confess your crime!
Murder, profanation, sacrilege, torture, soul. Sacrilege, I guess? Soul? Let's try Soul. These are, again, like, these answers, like, these choices are always so weird. Like, what would you pick here? It's too little information.
I offered my soul to the devil to curry favor with him.
That's a crime. Haven't we all?
I've tortured innocent people to extract their knowledge.
And you were probably one of the best torturers this order has ever seen. But that's not the source of your betrayal.
I've murdered over 50 people in cold blood. Men, women, old people, and...
And you lost your resolve, heretic. You disobeyed my orders when you helped the one chosen to complete the carnal act.
These reaction moments are just like the shop window dummies. So I guess that's where he got this idea from.
And if the carnal act doesn't work...
How can it fail? You yourself helped me to create it. Do you repent for your treachery?
I'd do it again, Venus.
What should we do with him, brothers and sisters? Life? Or death?
Penis.
Let it be death, then. But Satan is the only merciful God, and he is going to give you a second chance. After your death, you will return to life to serve him again, docilely and without any possibility of betrayal.
Okay, so if that's Gines de Orduña, then that means this has been like, you know, like a century ago or more, you know. So I think, at least, because like I always assumed that Gines was like, you know, centuries ago. I mean, it said that parts were built into Notre Dame, right? So it would have had to been at least before that was built.
You wouldn't dare. You can't do that to me.
Ah, but I can. In nomine de nostri Satanas Luciferi Excelsi. After years of searching, we've hit on the exact combination of torture and alchemy elements that make up the formula for eternal life. Brother Vulcanus, you've been tortured according to the ritual, and now you will drink from the chalice of eternal life. Salt and sulfur to purify it. Iron to strengthen it. Gold to return.
Mercury.
Iron in honor of Satan.
Mercury.
And the coin of judgment to outwit the Creator himself.
Mercury to remember.
The moment is at hand, brothers and sisters. Make him drink it.
Oh, so the mercury is missing, or what?
Now, brand him with fire, so that we recognize him when he returns.
The Highlander. Yes.
Oh, Satan, you who have granted eternal life to this heretic, allow me to take it from him momentarily, so that he may rise again and give evidence of your works. Kill the prisoner.
In the name of the Holy Inquisition, the sacrilegious priest, Gines de Orduña, and all the members of the diabolic Order of the Flash, they shall be judged in their own blasphemous church and burned under the open sky as an example to other heretics. This sentence is executed today, the 31st day of August of the year 1501 of our Lord.
1501, so that old he is. Wow. Okay, and that's Cooper, I guess. These seem like friendly neighbors coming to borrow a cup of sugar.
Your friend, Mr. White's about to arrive.
It would be easy for you to slip away from the two
He
men
wants you
holding
to prepare him a recipe. You remember it, don't you?
But then what? There are too many of them.
Can't cut your tongue?
Unless you use
I
something
do remember you.
that you learned many lives ago.
Die you. Every time I look in the mirror. Don't move!
You've already mastered sword fighting. Why are you still here, apprentice?
You still haven't taught me how to control the unknown sense.
You are not ready.
When will I be?
Bring me a truth flower.
And you'll teach me to use the unknown sense?
Bring me a truth flower.
Oh, and now we're back here. Okay. Hahaha. I like this, kind of like this. It's a cool idea for an adventure game to tell the story completely non-linearly in this way. And, you know, to bring you back to certain places. It's also, I guess, efficient because you only build a certain number of places and, you know, through the flashbacks you don't have to let people travel and they can't take stuff along between the sections of the game. So kind of the sections are insulated from each other, which is always good for game design because it means you can't end up in unwinnable situations. But on the other hand, it's just like as a story, it feels really good. So let's see, we need to bring him a truth flower still, and we haven't, I guess. Of course, it says, it said earlier, we needed patience. Its branches are covered with truth flowers. It's too far away. So maybe we can do something now? Let's see, we fixed the bell, I guess. The rope you tied when you rang the bell is holding up fine. Your master is explicitly forbidding you to ring the bell again. The corn your master uses to make tsampa. Which is pretty much the only food we had. Can we... One of the unusual scenarios of your apprenticeship. You won't climb onto this beam unless Olak orders you to. Candles, okay, we already saw that. You don't need the candle. Let's see, is there anything out there that's new? Pull it out? No. Can we make this work? The brake is rusted and stops the crank from turning. Can we... Wait, what if we... Like, we need some sort... I'm assuming we need some sort of grease to make this thing work, because so far we haven't had any way to make it work. So what if we put this in the oven? Although the lacquered duck would be better hot, the scent of incense would overpower its traditional taste. I hope that we could get, you know, grease to drop off of it. Oh, maybe I can cut a piece off the duck? You still don't know when you'll eat your lacquered duck, so you put off carving it. these, you make the windmill spin, releasing the prayers depicted on it into the wind. Cereals and legumes that your master grinds to make sampa. You'd prefer not to carry more bags. Well, we don't have any bags anymore. And I think we're not making popcorn either. Aww. Let's look at it. An incense burner that never burns out. The incense is of no use to you. Exactly, that's why I wanted to remove it. Can I maybe put it on top or something? Tea ceremony. Jar for the water that you and your master drink. Master has forbidden you from taking more than your daily ration out of the water jar. Let's take that sword out and see if we can do anything with it. Nope. On the table, a flower pot that doesn't have a truth flower bush planted in it, unfortunately. You're not specially interested in the flower pot or the little jars. They contain several pairs of your master's pants and necklaces. An expensive overcoat you can't remember how you got. You won't recover your own clothes until you finish your apprenticeship. Oh, right. We remember going like in the snow and possibly dying, so we probably don't remember anything, do we? Huh. That's a bit of a snag. False window that hardly lets any light in. A little stove your master uses to cook the ground sampa. It's hot. Can we use the ladle to get sampa? No. Can we put this in there? It's better not to add ingredients to the sampa. Okay. Beans, the main ingredient in sampa. Gastronomically speaking, very few things repulse you as much as peas. Blocks of yak butter. With a slight gesture of assent, your master authorizes you to take a block of butter. Yes, okay, that works, I guess. That works as grease as well, I guess. What's this? The honey your master uses to sweeten the tsampa. You can't leave your master without honey for the tsampa. Can we maybe use the ladle to get some honey? The master has given you his blessing to take a little honey, just a little with the ladle. Ladle, 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 I made it out of clay.
I sense your intentions, young apprentice. But I don't want sunlight today. Don't open it. I'll cut off one finger for each hand width you open the window.
He's a bit mean. Olag Adirf, the blind master.
Why have you decided to end my sword fighting lessons?
Because the pupil has surpassed the master.
How did you go blind, master?
I had X-ray eyes, and it was a pain in the ass. So I said to myself, fuck this.
I'm so sorry, master. It must have been terrible.
He still doesn't get the when he's pulling the legs. His leg, I think.
How did you go blind, Master?
I had X-ray eyes.
Okay,
Really?
That's the same thing.
I seem to remember you telling me another story.
Better to remember that you have memory problems, young disciple. Trust me, not it.
How did you go blind, Master?
Wait, that was
I
a
had
different answer?
X-ray eyes, and it was up.
Yeah, okay, we had that.
How did you go blind, Master?
I had X-ray eyes, and
Why did he say I didn't catch it? Because I thought it was the same answer, but he says he seems to remember him telling a different story.
Why can't I remember anything about my previous life?
it's not my role to help you with that, young disciple. Nevertheless, something I teach you today might help you recover your memory tomorrow.
Why can't I remember anything about my previous life?
It's not my role to. Nevertheless, something I.
Okay, I don't know why that doesn't check off, but I guess maybe there's a different conversation. No. Seems to
Why
be the
can't
same.
I remember anything?
It's not my role. Nevertheless.
Okay, I guess maybe it's a bug. Maybe I have to come back later. Okay, let's put that back in there. The game won't let me use it outside. Anyway. And now let's try if we can use yak butter. The grease unjams the brake, allowing the crank to turn. Yes. Zampa, yes. What will we have for lunch today? Zampa. What will we have for lunch tomorrow? Zampa. I like these. Like this character is like he's obviously like funny, and I don't know how like like he's kind of I guess like a cliche of a Tibetan monk or something in some ways. And they're playing with the cliche, of course, and doing things you wouldn't expect. So I'm not sure like how like actual Tibetan monks or anything like that would appreciate this parody, and it might be a little insensitive, but at least from my amount of knowledge right now, it's at least a funny character to have. And the other conversations we had with him earlier, where it was like, yeah, he gave us answers that were just random and where he then said something like, I love pulling your leg, apprentice. Okay, so let's crank here and see what we get. Oh, they saved themselves a larger animation, I guess. A bucket! It could have been lying at the bottom of the void for years. You would have to lean out over the void to untie the knot that ties the bucket to the pulley. Too risky. Do we have anything we can... Oh, that's honey. Thanks to the yak butter, the brake is now unjammed. Let's see, we're letting it down again. Maybe it will fill with, I don't know, water or something. Or snow. Could have been lying at the bottom of the void for years. Can we make honey glazed chicken? You don't put this in the ladle. Okay, so we have done something with this bucket, but we don't know what we can do with it. What's this? Salt you sprinkle in the snow that remains salty can be used for drinking water. Ah, okay. You don't need the half-empty bag or the tiny bit of salt that's left in it. Can we maybe attract the bird somewhere? Okay, we can put salt somewhere. Can we salt the butter? No matter how hard you think about it, you won't find any use for salting the yak butter. But salted butter is a thing. You'd do anything to saute the corn in a little butter, wouldn't you? Well, forget it. Icicles look like fangs. You couldn't take any of the icicles even if you wanted to because you can't reach them or break them off with your hands. Can we maybe drop something? Putting this in the bucket won't help you at all. Maybe put the chicken in the bucket? Nope. I don't know what I'm doing. What can I do with this? Oh, can I maybe cut off? You would have to lean out in the void to rope the ties about the screen. Nope. That doesn't work either. The road that brought you here when you thought you were as good as dead. You won't cross these mountains again until Olak Adrif teaches you to use the unknown sense. The sled you were using to carry your belongings when you arrived. Taking the sled won't do you any good. Alright, nothing else out here, but what do we want to do? The same thing. Could have been lying at the bottom of the void for years. Can we cut a branch off? You try to break the layer of ice that surrounds the bush, but you're not successful. Honey at the stove? No. You pour some honey in one of the holes in the wall. Ah. Can we put some corn into it? You put the kernels of corn into one of the holes in the wall and... Ah. Has honey on its foot. Great. Without a doubt, the honey on the wall has gotten all over the bird's feet. It's too far away. Okay, do we have more corn? No, we don't. take more corn or something, or peas. Maybe we can take peas. I don't remember what it said. It just said we didn't want them for us. We take a few more kernels. Okay. So let's see if giving him more corn. You offer food to the blue bird for the last time, and discover that several seeds that had fallen from the bush into the nest. The only thing you needed from the wall were the seeds, and there are none left. Oh, okay, we already have them. Truth flower seeds. Okay, so now we need to plant them. So I guess... plant the seeds. Your master Ullak says that where death grows, life cannot be born. And maybe put them in the bucket. No. But hey, we found something. Patience, young Padawan. Yeah, I mean, we have seeds now, so we have to plant them and grow them so we can bring him a truth flower. And I mean, he did say something about patience, so let's see, there is a plant pot here. So maybe it's just enough. Won't germinate inside it. Aww. Yeah, we can offer it to him. Your master wants a flower, not its seeds. Smells of tsampa, a nutritious mixture of beans, corn, honey, butter that is the basis of your master's diet. It's hot. I can't use the tsampa. If you take any more honey, the master might get upset. Okay. I guess we don't need it anymore. Boink. So I guess... what do we do with the... Can we take this after all, maybe? Maybe he will let us now? I don't know, it'll probably just be crossed out again. Oh, maybe not. Let's see if we can maybe use this. Jabbing with the katana, you break the layer of ice that surrounds the dead bush, dig up the soil and pull it out with its roots. Okay, that's because we finished our training, I guess. I think he made that a condition of us taking this sword out. So, let's plant this. You bury the seeds with the knowledge that on their own they'll take a long time to germinate. Can we make it grow a little better? I don't know. We don't have much. It doesn't seem like the lacquer duck contains the nutrients that would make seeds germinate. We're making progress. The seeds of the truth flower await thirstily. There's no reason to dig up the seeds. Oh, so we need water. Or ice. So the question is... can't take any more water today. Maybe we can talk to him about the water?
Why can't I remember anything about my previous life?
It's not my role to help you with that, young disciple. Nevertheless, something I teach you today might help you recover your memory tomorrow.
Already have yak butter, and we don't like peas. On the table, a book. You're not really interested in the flower pot. Can this be the real dragon yak that, according to legend, your master defeated? You prefer not to touch the dragon yak in case it bothers your master. Snow somewhere. Or water. Rope is no match for a sharp blade. Okay, what do we have now? We have a bucket with a bit of a rope. Can't take snow. Maybe we can... Tying it with the rope, you put the bucket underneath one of the icicles, which you cut off cleanly with the katana. Ah. Now we heat it up, and then we have water for the plant. You place the bucket on top of the burner, and you get incense-flavored water, which you sell in Silicon Valley and make a lot of money with. In a short while, the icicle melts. Oh great, now I have the Cranberries song stuck in my head. You water the seeds day after day, week after week, until...
You have demonstrated that you possess the patience, the astuteness, the perseverance, and the respect for life required to learn to control your unknown sense.
Thank you, Master.
Have you finished your chores for today?
Yes, Master.
Good. Because today you won't be capable of doing anything else. Prepare yourself. Forget you have eyes and open your unknown sense. Prepare yourself.
So I guess he's getting
I'll
beaten
never
up.
be able to do it.
Never doesn't exist. Patience, yes. This time you lasted 1 second longer. Prepare yourself.
Ah, Mom is here.
Henry!
John!
Really, sir?
Not yet. First, you're going to make me immortal.
Not on your life.
Such rancor. And what about her?
No!
You have 20 minutes to prepare the potion. Half hour at most. Your sainted mother has brought everything a good alchemist could possibly need. Right, Doctor? Recognize this, John? I found it in Bratislava. Who knows how it got there?
Yeah? Well, a simple carpenter's cup would have worked just as well.
John,
Thank you, John. So, John, tell me everything. Did you meet Napoleon, Nostradamus, Marilyn Monroe, Hitler?
Interesting. That was a abrupt change, though. Like, first showing us the first showing us, taking us back to the hidden master, having to be meditative and things like that, and then suddenly throwing us back into this situation. I mean, we had to return at some point, but and it was a tense moment, but it's a nice contrast. I want to find, I would probably say challenge him, roleplay-wise, but I want to find out some stuff, and since last time we only got the one answer, I'll try that one as first, because I never heard the real name.
Oh, yes, Henry. Sherlock Holmes and Don Quixote. Mickey Mouse and I used to have dinner together every Wednesday night.
An idea races through your mind. Henry, Cooper, your fake mother.
Who are you really?
who I say I am. Elaine yesterday.
Is it true what you told me about your husband?
Almost all of it. Frank was my thesis director, and I fell in love with him. He died at 84, 3 years ago, peacefully in his bed. Not in Cadway Station, like I told you. Henry invented that story and had me tell it to you.
Are you really an expert on medieval sects?
All the books and articles written by Frank and myself that you read were authentic.
How did you get involved in all this?
Henry hired me 2 years ago when he had only one clue, the symbol of the Y. I learned of its connection to the Order of the Flesh, the torture methods they employed. But that's it. A few months ago, Henry hired me again, but this time at gunpoint. I pretended to be your mother up until your fake suicide in Paris. And when you came back to life, I played the role again, as if nothing had happened.
Why were you pretending to be my mother?
John, Henry made me do it. He threatened me. He invented this entire story to get you involved in the investigation.
What do you get out of all this?
I stay alive. If Pauline comes back to life, we'll all drink from this chalice.
Ah, okay. So she wants to live forever as well. Oh, and the plague mask, thank you for the host.
You know, Henry, do you really believe he'll let you drink from it?
Yes? Right, Henry?
Of course, Elaine. You know me, and you know that I'm not a tightwad. I'm the American millionaire who dedicates the most money and time to charity. White Enterprises shares its patents with any NGO that wants to use them for the common good. I've created hospitals, schools, and community centers all over the country. You know me, and you know that I do whatever is necessary to get what I want. But you also know that when I have something, I share it. Elaine, you can rest assured that when I become immortal, you will too.
Not sure. No problem. Thank you. Still thank you. Cooper.
How long were you torturing me in that room?
From the day we took you there, 2 years went by. But I missed out on the first month, thanks to you.
Aww.
That scar, does it hurt?
Only when it's gonna rain. The doctors that Henry hired were the best. In less capable hands, I would have never made it.
Did you enjoy torturing me?
Yes. It made me feel good. Powerful, dangerous, fulfilled. Revenge is addictive.
Did you ever feel guilty about it?
One day, around a year after you got there, you'd passed out after I broke several of your ribs with the baseball bat. You woke up and asked, "Do you know what your name is?" I said, and I quote, "My name is Samuel. Samuel Cooper." You said only this, "You're lucky, Samuel. It was weeks before I tortured you again."
Yeah, he doesn't know his own name. Here's some spaghetti and avocado mixed with a human. Well, I guess that might still taste better than that Sampa stuff he was getting every day. Although, I guess, like it had honey in it, so it's probably good. But he didn't sound like he really liked it much. Thank you, Plague Mask.
What do you think Henry will do if the potion works? Will he let you drink it?
Henry is my best friend. And well, isn't that right, Henry?
I'm your only friend, Cooper. The only one. But do you know what? You're also my only friend. My life began at the same time yours did. In the university. The day we teamed up to kill Ralph Martinson. Nobody could understand how we got along so well. The hard-working weakling heir and the penniless jock. But what we had, and we have in common, nobody else shares. We're special, Cooper, you and I. How could I face immortality without you, Cooper?
How many have you killed?
Not that many. Around 50. Well, twice that if I count you.
He has killed him 50 times. Goodness gracious.
Why did you kill Pauline's father?
He didn't want to play ball.
How did you get to Petit?
It was your friend Boris in Cadway Station.
He says he lived in Paris, Berlin, Moscow. What a shame. Look, wax from the candles has dripped on the cake.
I started monitoring the libraries in all of those cities. If anyone checked out a book on sects, Satanism, alchemy, the symbolism of the alphabet, the Inquisition, torture, I would hear about it. Our good man Petit was a voracious reader.
Pauline told me that her father...
He had spent the entire day with an American collector. They made some good deals. The man was going to pay us a lot of money. We were going to renovate the store, do some traveling. When I woke up the next morning, he had hanged himself.
What really happened, Henry?
To gain his trust, I told him that I wanted to have first option to buy all the antiques he found. But when I tried to get information about the Order of the Flesh out of him, he said that he had abandoned the investigation years ago without turning anything up.
What did he tell you about his relationship with Choke?
With you, you mean? It was you who set him on the trail of the Order of the Flesh. Probably thanks to some isolated flashback you had. But the flashbacks themselves made you crazy, unpredictable, egocentric, violent. You started to believe that you had lived in the time of the Inquisition, and you came to suspect that his daughter was a witch. Yes, John. You tried to kill your beloved Pauline. Aren't you happy to find out that we're not so different?
Oh, Pauline didn't know that. I guess she does now. If she wakes up again, I guess.
What have you done to me, Henry?
Everything imaginable. Can you be a little more specific?
At first, you only burned vagrants. Why did you start torturing them, using the techniques of the Order of the Flesh?
Because of you, John. When Doctor yesterday connected your scar with the Order, and I saw the acts of torture they practiced, I mistakenly believed that behind them I'd find the secret of immortality. You made me what I am, John, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Oh, okay. So he's really a sociopath. It's not that he like gets a kick out of killing people or so. Or maybe, I mean, he said they got into that at school by killing this one guy. Well, that's kind of interesting. Like, what was there before? Like, was he always like someone who, basically a serial killer in the making, or is he just like a totally immoral scientist who did all these experiments? Like, would he stop if he got immortal, or would he just keep going?
What happened after the day that you shot me in the back and Boris escaped from the warehouse?
The best period of my life. Imagine a boy with a cake you can never finish. A pervert with a girl who doesn't know how to keep her legs together. Or a psychopath with a victim that can be killed over and over again. But everything ends up getting old. I wanted to be like you, and I started to investigate.
Okay, so he calls himself a psychopath, I guess. So I guess he would have been a serial killer anyway, and will probably stay it. That's not nice. I mean, not, like, you wouldn't let him get away either if you could, but, interesting aspect to the personality to think about, I guess.
How did it occur to you to hire me to investigate the Order of the Flesh?
Your flashbacks were what did it. I realized that you sometimes remembered things from your previous lives. I used to love to electrocute you, for example. One time in 10, you would remember earlier electrocutions. When Dr. Yesterday stopped progressing and Petit refused to help me, I thought that your ability to remember your own past would be the best tool for reconstructing it. And it's worked out that way.
Marcel screwed it up by making me drink mercury. That improved my ability to remember.
Just the opposite. If it weren't for that, we probably wouldn't be here today. Marcel was an excellent professional and a good friend. But make no mistake, I'm not reproaching you and the girl for killing him. I probably would have ended up killing him myself anyway.
He should probably not say that in front of his friends. He did great work for me, but I guess I would have killed him anyway. That doesn't sound good.
You've promised Cooper and Elaine that you'll share immortality with them.
And I will.
I'd like to remind you of a couple of things you said earlier.
Marcel was an excellent professional and a good friend. But make no mistake, I'm not reproaching you and the girl for killing him. I probably would have ended up killing him myself anyway.
If you do this to all your friends, what's Cooper to think?
Since he was no longer useful to me and he knew too much, I had to have him liquidated.
What good will Elaine be to you when you're immortal, Henry?
Henry?
Cooper. Shit, John. What did they ever do to you?
At last, it's just you and me.
And the girl? Have you forgotten her that quickly?
Will she remember?
You son of a bitch!
No!
She does.
Good God. Is this the price one has to pay for immortality?
You'll pay for all this, Henry.
Don't threaten me, John. You're just one bullet away from being my slave again.
How do you feel now that you're immortal?
Peaceful. Serene. I want to start all over again with a clean slate.
Any idea how many bullets you have left, Henry?
Don't mess with me, John.
Oh, he counted. Which of the three leading characters in this story will upset the balance? I have no idea what they want from me now. What does he mean by will upset the balance? Metaphorically or literally, I have no idea. Yeah, I guess he could try to get us and fall down. I guess that's what's going to happen. Or we could let him go, but I don't think we'll do that. And he could interfere, and I don't know if he'll successfully interfere. Well, but he will... Right, he is now angry at Henry, I guess. So that's... I guess that's in... You know, I don't want Henry to get away with this. Let's see what it shows here. The brilliant volunteer. The millionaire psychopath. Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so let's see what they say about Choke if we leave the mouse on him. Choke, the vagrant. Miguel de Castro. Oh, no, that's his real name. Son of the Duke of Fuentenegra and servant of Satan. Okay. And what is this? How does this end? Samuel Cooper, the young pioneer, and the cruel torturer. I think I'll let him. I'll click him. Just like I think it's, you know, who will act and what will happen then. And like I kind of suspect that he will kind of go like, "Oh, you're evil," and drop him. That's not good. He might, you know, like might get out again and throw us down or something, or we might die together. And he kind of seems like, you know, he might, I don't know, screw it up or whatever. I don't know. I guess I'll click him and see what happens. Wait, can I save or something? No, I can't. Okay. Samuel Cooper, the young pioneer. Let's see what he does. The cruel torturer. Friendship, a shot. Well, he remembers being shot, I hope.
You shot me.
Come on, Cooper. You know that I wasn't shooting to kill. I never miss my target. I want you to live, Cooper. By my side. Forever.
Right.
We've been friends for so long, Henry.
Of course we have. And we'll go on being friends. We'll find another coin. We'll prepare more elixir. We'll live.
Oh, they're out of coins. Like they only have the one coin. And he drank the rest.
Henry, if there's anyone who's taught me the value of life, it's you.
That sounds like me. Get me out of here and tell me what it is.
All right.
And the bullet?
I survived it.
What do we do now, John?
We shall see. We've got time.
Okay, that was interesting. Now the question is, I think I can replay some scenes because the info dialogue thing has like a like has pictures of like all the scenes you did. So I can probably go back and play the other answers. So that's what I'll probably do. First, let's enjoy the credits with this calming music. Our families, friends, and all those who made possible these 18 first years of Pendulo Studios. The interesting thing, of course, is he's immortal now, right? And they dropped him into that what's the thingamajig called? Dropped him into that well, I guess, whatever that was. So the question is, did they now like close up the entrance? And Henry is stuck in the well and will resurrect there. That's interesting music. Yeah, but so have we just basically damned Henry to life? I guess so, right? I mean, the thing is, he could probably come back out of that again. Yeah, it sounds like that, yeah. But of course it also means, you know, someone could find this spot and get him out of there. And he could come... Oh, like now. Yeah, I guess...
This is going to be fun.
Is he going to mutilate himself or something? Or is he going to come out again and try to get his revenge? So let's see what happens if we go in there now. We're at that last or second to last part. Didn't we have... Which one was the... Is this one the saving thing? Yeah. Ah, so we can get back to the last moment and make a different decision, I guess. So, hey, let's find out what happens. I like that they let you do the choices again, even if they don't have free choice. Like, you know, like they... of save points, I mean. So I guess let's try and see what happens if we pick Henry, the brilliant volunteer. Oh, I need to click. The millionaire psychopath.
Get me out of here, and you'll have all of eternity to take revenge.
Do you want to torture me? Go ahead. I know that you'd like to. Skin me alive with a nail clipper. Drive nails into my eyes. Pop my gonads with a pair of pliers. Smash my teeth with a hammer. Tie off my veins in my legs and make me walk. Rip off my limbs. Sand my skin off until you reach the bone. Make me swallow my lower intestine. Impale me. Take a video of me, and we'll have a good laugh watching it together. I'm your new toy. Don't you see?
I'm not out for revenge, Henry.
Do you know why I prefer to kill vagrants? The pain of a vagrant dies with him. No one suffers for him. I can't stop killing. It's in my nature. Would you prefer that I killed mothers, husbands, boyfriends, daughters, lovers, grandchildren? The vagrant is alone. Just like you were, John.
You don't move me, Henry.
You were my best victim. It didn't matter how much I tortured you, or how many times I killed you. Because no one cried for you. Because you were alone. All alone. But now you're not. See? We're alike, you and I, John.
I'm not like you, Henry.
So you think you're a good person, John? You haven't always been. As Miguel de Castro, you were a murderer. As Choke, you were a madman. In each of these lives, you were different, depending on the choices you made. Do you know what you'll become if you decide to throw me off, John? What you hate most in this world. Me.
Get out of here.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
That wasn't nice.
I'll miss you, John, yesterday. Good thing I have a new toy.
Oh, God. Okay, that's not nice.
Henry.
Oh, but this time he remembers. So I guess that was the difference to before. It's because he was poisoned with mercury. He finally remembers who he is. Okay, that's interesting. That's good to know. So at least there's that, you know. I mean, it's, you know, if you have such an ending, of course, the problem, like, on one hand, it's good game-wise because you get to do something. You know, you get to make decisions and they have a final effect. But what will you do? You know, you can't really do a sequel because then your decisions, like either you would have to just not address whatever you decided on, or it would have to happen substantially differently depending on what you choose. So in this case, you know, like people would have to say, okay, who did you choose in the end in the previous game? And then it would have to, you know, either be a game of John chasing down Henry, or of Henry tracking down John. I guess you could do it in a short scene. You know, you could just have for example, Henry, you know, you could have a short scene at the beginning where he gets back out of this hole and digs himself out or whatever and just takes quite a while. And then he would, you know, get back to his company. And from then on, you could just say, well, John is out there, finds out that he's still alive and free. And then it's a story, and you can have the same story if John ends up in the well, and then he digs himself out and finds that Henry is out there still doing his thing, you know. So I guess it wouldn't quite matter what you choose here, except for like a first scene. And in this case, I guess that's the same. Yeah, so that's that. So we'll see what happens here. Choke, the vagrant. Miguel de Castro, son of the Duke of Fuentenegra and servant of Satan. John yesterday, the man of 1,000 deaths, takes action. Oh, okay. We get to actually choose or look at the people. Ah. Your fake mother, another life twisted and cut short by Henry White. You find it comforting to know that you'll live again, but it doesn't erase the pain of having watched her die. Samuel Cooper, the young pioneer, the cruel torturer. So there might actually be several choices here. The brilliant volunteer, the millionaire psychopath. So I guess we can, if we do this, then we pull him out, I guess. Okay, let's go for her first, I think. And see what the interaction with her does. Like, do we throw him down or whatever? Or maybe... let's try her first. Because, like, she hasn't been in any of the stories yet. There's nothing else you can do for her. Okay. What is he? By mistake, you take him for dead. When your chapter with Henry comes to a close, you'll get out of here with her. Okay, so we can't actually make any decisions with or about them. Okay. I thought maybe they'd done a bigger scene here for him because he has been the main character, so they assume you will choose him more. What's this? There's a knife. The light of the flame falls directly on the blade of the weapon. Suddenly you know what to do.
John, what are you doing?
Oh.
Welcome to eternity, Henry White.
What do we do now, John?
I don't want to remember anything else. But what I do want, Pauline, is that you help me to forget.
Okay, interesting. But whether he has to rescue his girlfriend or not makes a difference. Yeah, that was what I was kind of thinking. Oh, and now he's still alive and Henry is down there. Let's see what happens now.
Henry?
That's an interesting ending. It's interesting that he's the last one we see here. Although we picked John. And I guess we left both of them down there now. So I guess he'll be a little angry after all. And he will help Henry. So let's see if we can do that without the knife. But do we need the knife? I wonder what giving him that symbol means, you know? Like, does that mean he will forget? Is that what makes him forget? Because, like, Henry and Pauline don't have that symbol. So the question is, can we just drop Henry without doing that? And get something like the final ending? So let's see if there's any difference. You can let him fall, but now he's immortal. How will you recognize him if he escapes from the well one day? Ah, okay. So, that's interesting. So he gets the scar, and then so you have to do that ending then. It's kind of interesting. Like, will he look different? But that would mean that that he might look, or is it just that if I lose my memory again, I won't recognize him? No, the scar came from the cultists in the 15th century, or 16th century, 1500s. So the scar, they gave it to him, like they burnt it into his hand. And so they could find him again, the cult, when he returned. So it's not for Henry to recognize his victim. But, you know, if Henry doesn't have the scar, does that mean, you know, because John seems kind of, you know, he hasn't changed throughout the game, even though we died several times. So is that just because, you know, he looks different, older than younger? So why would we need that for Henry? You know, so I think the recognizing him, I mean, in the, you know, like in the past, that kind of makes more sense that he would have the scar. You know, because there will be centuries later, you know, nobody will be alive who has ever seen Miguel or John or Choke. And so if that's the case, then, you know, they could easily recognize him by just saying, well, if you find a guy with that scar on his hand, that's the guy we're looking for. And he will not remember anything, so he will not be looking out for you and might even go around saying, hey, do you know anything about this scar? And then you can say, yeah, come with us into this empty warehouse and we'll tie you up, you know. So maybe that's what so the question is, maybe, you know, he says he wants her to help him forget. So maybe what he wants to do is kill himself one last time so he doesn't remember anything and start a new life. But if he drops Henry down there and he comes back out, then he will see another person with the same scar I have. And that will let him, you know, be aware that that's probably a person like him. And maybe be a little more wary. Maybe it's that. And it doesn't quite make sense to me. So that's interesting. But good. We've finished this game now. After 3 hours, I realized that I was really close to the end, so that's why I didn't take my 2-hour break this time, because I think this is a great point to end the stream for today. I hope you enjoyed this game as much as I did. I really like this this story. It's great. So I'm thinking, like, my most likely choice is that I'll be doing Yesterday Origins, the prequel game, next Sunday. And we'll see how many streams we get out of that. Maybe we'll get another 2 or 3 weekends out of those. But that seems like a good game to do. Otherwise, I might think a little and find something else. And before we close it all up, a short reminder that there is short reminder that I also do Wednesday streams occasionally, which are usually Twitch sings. It was slightly new. Maybe not done after known American schemas. Yeah, it kind of like it doesn't have like the traditional Hollywood pattern of story. And it's a mystery, which not that many point-and-click adventures are to this degree. And it's a fantastic story, I guess, that also helps. And it's a more adult story, not a story, of not like a cartoony, funny story like many of the famous good point-and-click adventures. So definitely, that's one of the things I like about this game as well. All right, but so that's it. I wish you all a very good week. If you have to work during the week, then I wish you that work will go past without too much stress that you don't want. And I mean, some people thrive off stress, and it gives them the energy they need. So if you want that, then happily, then I hope you'll get just the right amount. And I hope everything will work out for you. And see you either on Wednesday or at the latest next Sunday. Same time, 5 p.m. Central European Daylight Savings Time. Very likely with Yesterday Origins. See you then. Bye-bye. And thank you for watching and being there and chatting, and also thank you for all the lurkers. I appreciate that you're here. Bye-bye.